Well, welcome to another edition of Livin the Farm Life. I'm Kevin Kopelski here at the Purina Animal Nutrition Center, and with me I have AJ Lee, manager of our companion animal unit. Hi, AJ.
Nice to be here, Kevin.
Today we're going to talk about hoof health and hoof care for goats. So AJ, a lot of people don't think about it, but really hoof health is pretty important to a goat.
You're exactly right. So if we think about it, the hooves are actually the foundation of the animal, right? But we don't always see the problems that are arising with their hooves because they're on the ground, right? So it's important to get in there, handle your goats, figure out if you have any problems, see if those hoof walls are growing in and things like that. So
is trimming a hoof or caring for the hoof, is that something that I could actually do, or do I have to have a professional do that?
Absolutely. It just takes a little bit of practice. You can watch YouTube videos, but the thing is, you might need an assistant to help you hold the goat. But grab a hold of that goat, look at their hoof. The hoof wall grows constantly, right? So unless there's rough terrain, rocks, goats were originally from the mountains, so that's how they wore off their hooves. But most of the time we don't raise our goats that way, so we have to trim them ourselves. So grab a hold of the goat, see if the hoof wall is actually grown under, and then whenever that happens, dirt, debris, manure gets caught under there, moisture, and then that starts causing problems. So we got to get that hoof wall trimmed and the sole, and so we do that at a parallel angle to like the hairline of the hoof.
Okay, very good.
Yep.
And so once I've done that, or is that the only way I can tell? I have to physically catch them and look at it? Can I tell just by how the goats are moving, or what other indicators are whether my goats have healthy hooves? Sure.
So usually if you can notice the problem visually without grabbing the goat, it's getting bad. So you really need to handle your goats on a regular basis, I guess. So look for lameness. If you see a goat limping, there's likely something going on down there. And also, if the toes get really long, you'll start to see them curl and things like that. But really, we want to get ahead of that. We don't want to see those kind of things. So get in there on a weekly, at least a bi-weekly basis, and look at the hooves.
Okay, very good.
Yep.
So obviously, we've got to keep an eye on the hooves. Just to try to prevent problems, I mean, what part does nutrition play in having a healthy hoof on a goat?
Absolutely. Nutrition is very important to the hooves. So hooves are made of protein, right? Keratin specifically. So having a balanced diet and nutrition, vitamins, minerals are all very important to hoof health. All of that is built into our feeds here at Purina. So yeah, very important.
Okay, very good.
Yep.
Well, thanks a bunch, AJ. I appreciate your being with us today. That wraps up this edition of Purina's Livin the Farm Life. Of course, you can always go to purinamills.com and look for articles or information to help you raise your goats at home. And of course, check in with your local Purina dealer. They're a great resource. They'll have a lot of answers for you. Thanks for being with us today, and we'll see you next time.